Hi everyone. So I wanted to take you through project one. I made this video about 9 million times and either a kid interrupts me or a dog barks. I am waiting for some Apple uh, earbud pros or whatever they're called to come in. Apparently they have some noise cancellation, so I'm pretty excited about that. They should be arriving this morning and I won't have that issue. All right, so project one is you're doing a band poster, a vinyl album cover with the label on the center of the vinyl album, and a related sticker, which would be merchandise that somebody would pay for during a concert. In theory, the tour poster would probably as well. And you have to take into consideration the sound of the band, their identity already, what the album is about, really, when you're designing this. And these should relate. They should not be exact copies. That doesn't mean that if you have a poster, boom, you turn it into a square and you have your label. They should be different, but they should be related. They should use the same images, maybe just in a slightly different way. You can see your album is 12.5 inches by 12.5 inches, and your band sticker is your choice, and your poster is 12 by 18. I have remade this as well because I had intended to go 20 by 24, but it's just more difficult for you to get these. You can see I'm going to be doing this format for turning in. You're creating a PSD mock-up, which is what this is. So it mocks up what your design looks like in a way that looks like you photographed it. And I'm going to be showing you how to do that. I thought it would be a great thing to do. Normally I just have you guys print things off, but these will allow you to kind of create presentation ready projects, which is important as we move into your junior portfolio, which will also be online for those of you who are majors. You'll need to be enrolled in that. If you're not enrolled in that, make sure that you are, because that's the gatekeeper course that opens up those advanced courses. Anyway, so I'm going to be talking about how to do this and where to find these. There are free ones, but there's also a service that I'm going to talk about today. I have lots of videos lined up to help you kind of get in the mood and to see other designers and how they approach putting together layered compositions. This should be photo based, it should not be illustration based. And the reason why I am doing that is because very often it's easy for us to say, oh, I know how to illustrate, so I'm going to illustrate this, and not move into understanding programs like Photoshop. And this is the course that I specifically target, as you have to leave here knowing a certain level about InDesign and a certain level about Photoshop. All right, so let's talk about the challenges of finding images, and let's do that by starting out by creating your document. We're going to go to File, down to New, and you notice that I've already got this set up. The width is 12. The height is 18, and your resolution should be 300. Now, it's really important that it's 300. That's what gives you a quality print. Web is 72. The resolution for anything that's printed is 300. The color mode should be CMYK, cyan, magenta, yellow, and K stands for black. And so anytime you're doing things for on-screen or interactive, they should be RGB, red, green, blue. So those are really important. Make sure that you write these down right now so that you start your document. That's one of the reasons why I'm doing it when I present the project. So we're going to hit create. So I'm going to go to image size, and I'm going to look at the resolution, the pixel sizes, 3600 by 5400. Write that down, and the reason why we're going to write it down is because we're going to go back to the web and we're going to talk a little bit about image searches. And just so that we're doing the same kind of search, I'm going to search for photos of clouds. All right. And I'm going to go to images. Now, you can't just click on any of these. A lot of these are going to be really low resolution. So I'm going to go to Tools, and I'm going to go to Size, and I'm going to do Large. And then I'm going to just look around. By the way, I'm going to click High Resolution because we're even more likely to get better quality there. And I'm just going to find an image that I like. And then I'm going to come up here, and you can see that the pixel size is 13 by 66 by 768. Now, this is high resolution. So if this is what they're considering high resolution, that's a difficult situation for us because we need something that's higher resolution than that. Let's go ahead and download this instead of searching around, because I can promise you we may find some things here that are close, but they might not be your first picks. So I'm going to hit Control, and I'm going to click on this, and I'm going to save image. And I'm going to save it to my desktop. Now, what I'm going to do is I am going to drop that image. I'm going to drop it over my my PS icon for Photoshop, and that should launch it. It didn't. It did. All right. So let's go take a look at image size. So you can see that it's actually bigger than what we need, but it's 72. So let's look at dropping this in. So I'm going to hit Command A or select all, Command C or edit down to copy. And I'm going to come into my document, and I'm going to hit Command or edit down to paste or Command V. And you can see how small it is. Now, that size is in relationship to the quality of your composition. So if I were to, let's go to edit down to transform and scale, and I'm going to hold down Shift. I'm going to hit return, and then we're going to, we're going to go to view to 100%. You can see that it's already starting to break down. You can see that it will print pixelized. But if I look at this at 100%, which is probably what this is, it looks fine. So that's really, really, really important. Now I have a solution. It will cost about $5 a month. And it is this site called FreePick, and I will leave a link down below. They're not sponsoring me. I paid for my own membership. This is going to be helpful, because you're going to be able, for $5 a month, which is a yearly subscription, I think it cost me $50, and then the second year apparently is going to be $99, which sucks. But it will give you all kinds of, vectors that you might use for designs, or photos that you might use for designs, or PSD mockups, which is what we're doing. So let's go ahead and do a search for clouds, a cloudy sky. And you can see that we have images like this, we have this, so we have a variety of images. Let's click this. And then let's hit download. Now I will say that every one of these images you're going to have to look at. They may actually need to be, they might not be as large as we need them to be, but we'll hope. And so let's go to image size here, and you can see the resolution is a height, which is not what we need, but if we were doing probably a horizontal composition, this would work. But for vertical composition, it's not going to work. So let's go back, and let's go up to this guy up here. I don't want to spend a lot of time looking at all of the ones that they have, just because I don't want to take up your time with a longer demo. All right, so I'm going to close this out. I'm going to come down here. I'm going to open this in Photoshop. And I'm going to go to image size, Now you can see that it is 32 inches by 48 inches, but this is really the true story. It is almost 3,000 by 4,600, and our dimensions were 3,600 by 5,400. The resolution is smaller. That's why the pixel dimensions are not bigger. So it will work, and let's see what it does when we copy and paste. It will not fill the composition, as you might think. Command A. I'm going to hit Command C. I'm not going to continue to go over those key commands. That's just something you're going to have to do. So we're going to zoom out, and we're going to paste this in. And you can see it does not go edge to edge, and that is because even though it was bigger than our composition, the resolution was lower. So we're going to have to scale it. So we're going to go to Edit down to Transform and Scale. Now, we're going to see a big difference. Oops. In this. So let's go ahead and look at 100% here. And you can see that we see all the wispy things. We see a little bit of graining, but nothing like what's happening here. We lost the wisps. It looks pixelated. So there's the big difference. So I would highly encourage you to consider a subscription. You can look for those images like I just mentioned, and I'm going to cover that again, but this is going to save your bacon. This is a project where you have to use photo heavy. You may use some illustration, but you have to do Photoshop because this is where we're going to be focusing on it, talking about it, and exploring it. All right. So I will leave a link down below, and all you have to do is go into, by the way, you can actually contribute if you want to sell your photographs or illustrations. You're going to come in here. You can see that I bought mine on, I think, Saturday. That's why I'm redoing this, because Saturday I woke up and decided to redo the parameters for this first project and make the images, the poster smaller so that it was reasonable. And you can see that it says $99, but I got this for $50 for the first year. All right, so that's it. And we are going to talk about using those mock-ups in the next video that I do. Thanks.